What's up, guys? I'm Taylor.
I'm Joe.
This is the We Tell You show here on a wonderful Friday. Hopefully your Friday is going well as well.
We do laundry every 3 weeks.
Yes. So it's the same shirt.
If
you're wondering, this is a old Metal Gear Rising shirt. That's the Make It Right hashtag.
And I'm wearing the Garage Sale Hurley shirt.
Garage Sale, which I believe was this past Monday's Joe Tells You.
So if you're wondering,
last Monday, actually, I do. My apologies.
Joe Tells You. $1 at a garage sale.
$1. This was free at E3.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. $1 and free.
He's a one-upper, is what he is what he does every single time.
It started with the monitor. Mm-hmm. I got the monitor for $16.
He does this all the time, every single time over there.
What can I say? That was a monitor at a garage sale. Hence, going back to a garage sale, I got a good monitor, which I still use, for $16. 16. Joe tried to get the same one, but he got yours a little more. It wasn't 16. It was more than that. I
eventually found one, though, after like years of looking. It probably was like a year and a half or 2 years later. It's actually right over there as a second monitor. I got that one for $10, and I had to get my own power supply for it, actually, because it did not come with one. So it might have cost me like $22 after that was said and done, but now I have a secondary monitor. And the other week when Taylor came over,
everything included,
and he said, hey, what's new? And I said, check this out. I have dual monitors now. And he said, welcome to 2006. And I said, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
At my home, in my editing bay, which I edit this video, I have 3 monitors.
He has an actual editing bay. Editing bay. People have a home office. He has a home office, a home theater, an editing bay, and what else?
And a computer for borrowing stuff and borrowing other movies online.
And a borrowing computer.
I
have a borrowing computer too.
I know you do.
Mm-hmm. Borrows a lot. It's kind of like a mooching computer. It's kind of like a mooching friend. Like the friend borrows stuff and you say, hey, can I get that thing back? And you go, you never listens to me.
Is that the Bill Gates of your the computers?
He's the Bill Gates of my computer systems.
Yes. Bill Gates being a nickname for one of our friends, not the real Bill Gates. But
he'll be on the show. The fake Bill Gates. Sooner or later.
What do we have this week? We have Bill Gates. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Sorry, that's okay. This is what the show's about. Cutting off.
Bill Gates, Make It Right. Bill Gates, Xbox, Make It Right video game. We have a question coming from Dre.
Yeah, we do have real questions.
A video game question. And now this came in concerning the new Nintendo Switch that just came out. He asked if it was going to be, do I think the Nintendo Switch is going to be a failure?
And I'm glad that Dre asked this question because I've been right about so many things as far as video game failures have gone.
Okay.
Who was right about the new PlayStation beating Xbox?
Seeing that we both own Xbox Ones.
But who was right? I told you which was going to sell better.
The PS4?
Remember when I was sitting with you?
The PS4 or PS4 Plus?
I told you the PS4 was going to sell better than the Xbox because of the way that they're promoting it, all the problems with Xbox coming out of the gate, and it's all about momentum on new systems. I told you this when it was first coming out. Who was right?
Well, if you told me, then I guess you're right. Or was it really a debate? This is our old podcast days.
Yeah, it's our old podcast days on our show. Social Philosophy.
Rest in peace.
So, yes. But basically, what had happened is we were talking about which was going to sell more, right?
Yes.
And I had said, even though I'm an Xbox fan, I like Xbox, I don't really like PlayStation, and the game's on PlayStation, I had said because the Xbox was shitting on their base, and I can cuss because this is the cussing show, what they were doing is they were trying to not let people have DVD ROM games. They were trying to have downloads only, and they were trying to have a marketplace where they could only get content available digitally. Like, they were causing a whole mess of problems with their hardcore base. Weren't they?
Yes, there were some issues there.
Now, I'm going to slaughter it when I say it, but the gist of what was happening is that's what was happening with them. And while basically PlayStation was doing the usual, they were offering everything exactly the same, just slightly better, which is what PlayStation customers want, right?
Yes.
For the most part. But and the Xbox players, they were forcing you to buy the Kinect, right, with it. And first one was coming out.
The new Xbox One S, the Slim came out, there was no Kinect in the box.
Yeah.
And it was built-in power supply. It was about 40% smaller.
Yeah, and so they gave you the option to buy one with
a connector
without it, right? So basically, they were coming out with a lot of problems right out the gate. Who could we blame that on? It was before Ballmer bought the Clippers, right? So basically, let's blame that on him. That and Zune.
You want to say this was okay? I wouldn't say. I don't know. I won't say. You think it's marketing? Do you think it's the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer? Like, who do you think?
I think sometimes people try to jump too fast for things people aren't ready for, and it happened the same thing when Nintendo Wii came out. And they were doing all the sensors and the sensor gaming, things like that.
Yeah.
Xbox tried to jump on it with sensor gaming, but that's not who Xbox customers were. And then all of a sudden, PlayStation came out with basically Wii controllers with orbs on the end, glowing orbs on the end.
Yes.
And that was just really stupid. Like, obviously, no one's going to buy that, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just Wii for PlayStation.
But now you have to have that to use their VR system.
Another fad is the VR system.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. How many people do you know that do VR gaming right now?
That can have... No, nothing of. No.
So
Dre has a Samsung headset, but I'm not sure. I think he has a couple demos, but not actual full games.
So VR is cool, and it looks fun, right? Mm-hmm. But as far as everyone being able to use it, I have my doubts.
This goes back to Rich Man, Poor Man. Rich Man owns a VR, and Poor Man just goes and plays one at VR arcades.
There's actually like a VR like little goggle set at Fry's the other day I saw in like the the bin that you go.
Yeah, there's really cheap ones.
Yeah, there's really cheap ones. I kind of want to try just be like, what kind of crap is this? But
I went to VR LA, the Virtual Reality LA convention, and I tried
hate VR because it gets dangerously close to a subject and a person I don't want to talk about. But
yes, and
who shall never be mentioned or named on the show.
No,
Bob. No, it's not Bob. Okay. We're throwing in Bob every so often, so he has to watch our shows.
So, yeah, but VRLA, I tried on some $20 goggles, and it was weird because there were games, but I got a headache. They weren't done well. But
don't they remind you of, like, phone games when the phones first came out?
Like Snake?
Yeah, like the games just aren't very good.
Mm-hmm.
The development behind VR is going to take a long time. And remember, for the longest time, putting things on your body and gaming has never historically blended well. We as the person that did it successfully, but VR systems came out as early as the 90s. Remember, we had like
in the movie Hackers, you had that guy with the punching, had the whole helmet stuff.
They always had that, like in Lawnmower Man and
Lawnmower Man
stuff.
Yeah,
all these like kids watching are just like, what are they talking
What's
about?
What's Lawnmower Man? What's the Hackers?
Yeah.
Angelina
Jolie, she was in it. She was young.
Yes.
But I just think that, the Wii U came out. Is it going to be a failure?
No, the Wii U's already been out. The Nintendo Switch came out.
The Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it just came out. Now, it's been going good with the games it has, but it only has a handful of games, and Nintendo has released it's called the Nintendo Direct. They come out and they have a YouTube show with a package where they show up games and so forth. So, Nintendo launched with Legend of Zelda, the newest one. Mm-hmm. Awesome. I mean, it's cool. But there have been some issues with the ability to undock and dock your station. Yeah. So, essentially, you can play on the go.
Yep.
And frame rates drop when it's docked docked to your TV. And frame rates are okay when they're undocked. Also, the the docking and unlocking having issues against the system itself. Scratching it, sometimes warping the system itself too as well. So there are some issues with the system and the lack of games.
I think Nintendo got really, really lucky with Wii. Lucky. And I mean lucky because people growing up with Nintendo gaming gave the Wii a chance. People that didn't game before gave it a chance. But the thing that sustains a system and sustains a product on the market, it's all about the games, stupid, right? It's all about the games. You got to have all the great games for the system. And Xbox has titles that are exclusive to Xbox, and PlayStation does as well.
Yes.
And the problem with Nintendo is their exclusive games to Nintendo, they keep missing on over and over again. Mm-hmm. One system will have a good Mario game, and then they won't do it. One system will have a good Zelda game, and then they won't do it. Or then they'll have like a Metroid game, will be half attempt. And the problem is people don't trust the Nintendo brand, or hardcore gamers don't trust the Nintendo brand, because they're going to get into it like the Wii U, and then they're going to discontinue the product early, and they're going to say, well, we're not done with that. Now we got a Switch now.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, too, is portable proprietary gaming, I believe, is dead because of tablets, tablet phones, tablet computers, things like that. So Nintendo keeps hitting over and over again with a tablet. We're a tablet. We're a tablet. Well, everyone already has tablets that are as powerful as gaming systems already. They already have it.
Okay.
They already have tablets with quad-core processors and things like that, and Intel i7s. So what is the point of having a Wii U, which only plays their games and only does their product, and you have to have only their chargers, only their equipment, only their stuff to go with you everywhere that you go, and you don't have like a browser, you can't download other apps like an App Store or Android Marketplace. Why not just have a tablet where you can do all of that and game?
Because you can't play the Nintendo license games on those tablets. That's all.
And what have we learned, though, when you do that with a product? We've learned the same thing with PlayStation, and we learned the same thing with Xbox. Because just because Xbox has exclusives doesn't mean people won't want to play or buy PlayStation and vice versa, right?
Yeah.
So the thing is that people growing up with the Nintendo games aren't the same people that are buying Nintendos now. They have to appeal to the entire new generation, right?
Yeah.
All the kids growing up with Nintendo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the older generation are getting less and less interested as we get older. Millennials, people like that, right?
Yeah.
So how long before we just don't pay attention anymore to Nintendo and Nintendo becomes a defunct game company until Nintendo realizes that they should probably port their games out to systems that'll be around longer?
So even though right now Nintendo's hitting it big with Switch, the launch, it is a launch, so it's a lot of people are hyped for it. They're going to have a huge sale number. Now it's to see if they can have a consistency. Over
Me,
the past.
I'm a numbers guy and a finance guy.
Yeah.
How big is big?
Oh, their install base was, I think they were sold out everywhere. Everyone was sold out.
Numbers, what do we got?
I'm not the exact numbers.
All right. We'll get the numbers for you.
Yes, but they exceeded what they thought they were going to do, their install base. They exceeded that already. Of what they predicted, they predicted for themselves.
Well, we can say we expected 10 viewers for the show and we got 30, and we've exceeded our viewer base as well. It doesn't mean we're doing it or knocking it out of the park.
Yeah, and then again, it like I was saying,
it's a jab at us. That's a jab at our show.
It's always jab at our show. We're very easy targets, but it's all about how it's going to happen the next couple months. Either it's going to keep, because without a piece of hardware is nothing without software. Essentially, what Joe said. So if you don't have the software to utilize in the hardware, then next month you can get you beat a game, you get tired of it. Okay, I beat the game. What's next? Nothing's next. Now eventually they've also started this. They've also started this monthly subscription where you can pay. You have to pay to go online now with Nintendo, like Xbox, like PlayStation, all the same. You pay to go online, and then what happens is, excuse me. So then you also get access to like they have so many X amount of games a month they're available to play, kind of like Xbox, like Games with Gold, PlayStation Plus. You get free games a month. In this one, you get free games, old games of like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, but they're only good for X amount of time. Once you're done, once that game is out of the rotation of playing, it's gone out of your queue as well. So it's like giving you a Games with Gold for free, like having you download a game, but then after that month, taking it away and also taking it off your Xbox. So they're renting you a game for as long as they want to have it in their system, but you can also pay money and buy it as well. You understand?
That's all great and it's all fine, but it's too little, too late. Everyone already does that already, and everyone already does that already. And the thing is too, like the old Nintendo games, on the internet, you just have emulators and things like that. I mean, you don't need their software to run their games. You don't need to buy their products to run their games. You can actually get bootleg CDs that you can run those on Xboxes and PlayStations.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, what's going to be the new thing that can't be replicated because it's hard to hack or bootleg? Mm-hmm. What's going to be the new, awesome, must-have game that comes out every couple of months, not every 2 years or every year for Nintendo.
It has to be every month right now because they just launched and their library is so small.
Yeah, so they have to be consistent with the good quality games too. It has to be like Mario, and then Zelda, and then Metroid, and then this, and then
their
that.
Mario game. Their Mario game for Switch is not coming out until November.
See, they're already messing it up already. So in that time frame, you have to convince people to keep playing and invest until November, and in that time, how many cool games are coming out for Xbox and PlayStation?
Ton. E3 is just on the corner. E3, you're gonna have a lot of things being introduced. They're showing Xbox Scorpio, which is the PlayStation 4 had PlayStation 4 Plus, which is the newer, 4K. Xbox is showing Xbox Scorpio at E3. Their newest, higher, more expensive, more powerful system.
Dreamcast is a great system too, but when we rely on gimmicks too much, we fail. Right?
Yeah, but then you can also, but every game on the Xbox One will be able to play on the Xbox Scorpio.
See. Great. Another great feature for Xbox. See?
Yeah.
And that's what people want. People want to invest in a system. They don't have to keep rebuying and redoing everything over and over again when the new system comes
Yeah, they
out.
said that you can actually get the Scorpio, take it home, unplug your Xbox One, plug your power cord right back in the next Scorpio, and play your games. That's how easy it is to set up.
Yeah, it's also one of the reasons, too, why I bought an Xbox One was because I was able to play Xbox 360 games on it.
Yeah.
As well.
Backward compatibility.
Yeah, or do you just download them new if you never had them before and you want to just go back in the old library and just play games you never played before? You can download them too as well.
Yeah, and they're actually pretty cheap right now too, and they're always having sales.
So it's like Xbox is like a long-term investment strategy for home and personal entertainment, and Nintendo seems to be changing everything. We have to rebuy everything every couple of years.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's the question being, is this going to be a failure for them? Is Switch going to be a failure before we end our show? Do you think it's going to be a failure? Do you think Switch is going to be a failure for Nintendo?
Well, I predicted a lot of things. I predicted that Jill Stein was scamming everyone for recount money. And where is she now? Where is she?
I'm not sure.
Where's that recount?
Where?
That's right. Trump's still in office. Nothing happened.
Okay.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I predicted a lot of things like that financially.
Mm-hmm.
And we can write this down on this date, April.
2 weeks from Friday.
2 weeks from Friday. So May, Nintendo Switch will be another failure for Nintendo.
This year or what year?
It will happen next year. And the new Xbox and the new PlayStation will overwhelm the support and the gimmick that Switch had. And then Nintendo may have one more failure after that before they have to license their games to other products and fold as a company. That's a bold prediction right here on this show.
You think they'll turn to Sega? So Sega's still around, but they're just licensing the games out to their other systems.
Nintendo hasn't produced a quality gaming system that has been a competitor with the market since N64. Every single system that's produced since N64 has been less power, low power, and lower performance than its competitors in the market.
More gimmick.
More gimmick. It's always been a gimmick. How long is this going to last? How long can it be a gimmick? Now, they have a great library and a great reputation on their games. Mm-hmm. That's only going to get them so far. As our generation gets older and we tend to forget what The Legend of Zelda and all these great games were, the new generation that didn't grow up with them won't be buying those products, and the old generation won't be caring about those products, and it'll leave Nintendo in the dust.
Okay.
That's where I stand. What do you think will happen?
You know what? I want to succeed. I'm actually looking forward to the Mario Odyssey coming out in November. For me, it's a system seller. It looks amazing. It's open world, sandbox, open world and Mario game. We actually interact with like humans. It looks cool. I want to play it. The current Zelda that's out right now is also out for Wii U, so it's out for old system and current system. So and guess what? You can actually play your Wii U on a computer with an emulator. They have the emulator for Wii U, and it works pretty damn well.
Again, thus eliminating the need to buy these Wiis.
Yeah, the Wii. And you can actually map a Xbox controller to that.
What kind of specs do you need on a computer to run that emulator?
I use my computer.
What's the processor?
The one for the editing computer.
Yeah, but that's a fast computer though. I mean, what's on it?
Yeah. I don't know the exact specs I have.
What's the Intel processor? Do you know?
It's i7.
i7. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what RAM do you have?
I have 16 gigs, I believe.
Okay. And then you have an SSD?
SSD, yeah.
Yeah. So you have a high performance computer.
But I run that emulator. I don't run that emulator. It's ran off of a external hard drive.
Okay. Cool.
But still, yeah. But that's that. But it runs. It runs perfectly. But yeah. So I want the system to succeed. I want Nintendo to keep going. I haven't played a good Zelda game in quite a while. I haven't, played any DS games, or I haven't played the Wii or the Wii U. Mario Kart's always one of the best games to play on a Nintendo system, the newest one out. Unfortunately, the Nintendo Switch is currently going to have a Mario Kart port of the old Mario one. It'll just be Mario Kart 8 Deluxe now, a little more adequate. So essentially, same thing. A couple more bells and whistles, maybe essentially a new hat for Malibu Stacy. That's all it is.
All right. So good for Nintendo.
Good for Nintendo. Anyway, on that note, sorry for the long rant here, but we're in a discussion. But this is a topic that we both are really familiar with. So on that note,
we give them a thumbs down. Nintendo will fail.
Joe says next year Nintendo Switch is done.
We give them a grade F. Do not buy in the stock world.
Do not buy. We'll revisit this in 1 year when hopefully we'll stay here. All right, guys. See you next Friday for our SNL debate.